Just saw this tweet from Mary Kay Cabot, wanted to put it out there. You talked about Nick Chubb as your top 5 comeback player of the year players.
Yep.
Obviously coming back from that devastating knee injury from last season. She said, just watch Nick Chubb running full sprints after practice, cutting with tremendous agility. It was remarkable. We weren't allowed to film it, but Jimmy Haslam, Browns owner, watched the whole thing and looked very pleased. So it appeared, and we saw the video, what was it, last week, 2 weeks ago, of him squatting like 8,000 pounds, it seemed like. Feels like Nick Chubb is all the way back.
Let's go.
That's awesome.
Let's go. Great news.
Yeah,
Great news. And that's what more needs to be said, other than the fact that if this guy comes back, not only is it something that he deserves, but I'm sure earned with hard work and blood, sweat, tears that we were not privy to. And again, what we saw last year from their running game without him will only serve to make them stronger down the depth chart this year and maybe ease them in back sooner and early. But we all know, Chris, what it's about. We all know it's about Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
And
100%.
Can the Watson that caused the Browns to acquire him despite his off-field baggage and giving him the guaranteed contract that apparently was necessary to get him to change whatever other plans he may have had when he was up for grabs and other teams were interested in him, and wind up in Cleveland. Can that Deshaun Watson show up and show out? He did, I would say, in Baltimore last year when he balled out in that win the Cleveland Browns had in Baltimore that shocked a lot of people, just A, by happening, and then B, the news happened began to seep out afterwards. Oh yeah. He suffered a significant shoulder injury that is going to cause him to miss the rest of the season. It's just like, wait a minute, that guy who is running and throwing and was the typical quintessential Deshaun Watson, that guy, the one I will never forget the first Thursday night game of his career. It was the first game of his career, if I'm not mistaken, his first start of his career. And for the Houston Texans, and we were in Cincinnati, and the Texans were starting him, even though Bill O'Brien started him. If I'm not mistaken, Chris, you want to look this up? I shouldn't be trying to jog my memory when I'm a little bit COVID hazy right now, but if I'm not mistaken, Tom Savage started the year for the Texans for some reason, and then Deshaun Watson started the next game, which was a Thursday night football game in Cincinnati, and they had no tight ends, and they didn't have any I think some tight ends were playing tackle or something.
Didn't
crazy.
he have like a 60-yard touchdown run or something?
And then he ran one in from midfield.
Yeah,
he was having trouble, operating the offense as one would think a rookie would do, in a short week and not having a banged up offense up front in front of him. But he ran one in from midfield.
Yeah, he had a 49-yard touchdown run.
It was breathtaking. Yep. We were sitting there on Thursday night on NFL Network.
Who is this guy?
Exactly. Well, it was just like, that's the kid.
Yep.
That's the kid. And at the time, for real, people were like, why would the Chiefs not trade up to take him and take the kid from Texas Tech at the time? I'm telling you, at that point in time in life, people were like, why would the Chiefs? Because this is the guy I would think that Reed would want to have. Is like, this is a guy that has a McNabb type game. Well, he went with the guy who has a Favre type game and a McNabb type game together. But long story short here is it's about Deshaun Watson and can he return to form? And they wisely got Amari Cooper situated contractually to his satisfaction. And if the Njoku that was balling out with comeback player of the year Joe Flacco shows up this year, and Nick Chubb can do what he can do, sky's the limit for Cleveland. 100%. Division winner, going deep in the playoffs. If Watson shows up like that, Myles Garrett is grim reaping and crossover dribbling and all that. No doubt.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.